Turn up the heat, I will soar across the sea.
Yeah, I'd say there isn't really like a set structure of how we write our music. Definitely always write music before lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one way of doing it. But there has been songs in the past where, for like Bones, for instance, like our first song that we released as a single. Let's Go Break My Wrist one day. I was climbing up my ex-girlfriend's window, as you do, and I fell from the window and broke my wrist. So I wanted to write a song about that, and like how I couldn't play guitar and couldn't do music for a while, and I came up with the title Bones, and I came up with a couple of lines from that, and then from that I took it to Rob, and then we wrote the song like that way, didn't we? But otherwise, like Ed and Rob would kind of write music for it, and then we'd kind of structure it all together after that, and then I'd write lyrics on top. So I definitely say music comes before.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a set process. It seems to change all the time. Like there are songs where like one of us will just have only a certain segment and then bring it to the band, or just not doing anything wrong, and we put it together. Or like there's one song where I arrange the whole thing and then you write the lyrics.
Yeah, you wrote like Rat Race on that. What was that computer program?
Guitar Pro.
Exactly, it is, yeah, you're right. So we definitely write songs in the studio as well. Like come up with like new ideas when we're actually recording. Like with our album, like some guitar solos would change when we're actually like in there. It's so much easier, I find, like when you actually just sat down like recording things, you can listen back to everything and then change parts and then It definitely does. Like, every single song I've written about something, and I find it really hard to make up lyrics about things that aren't related to what is actually going on. So like draw inspiration from like breakups and such. Definitely getting a lot more creative with the writing. It's not all about girls anymore, is it? You know what I mean? But they definitely do write about like real life situations. Even with music, you draw inspiration from that.
Yeah.
Emotional times. Like when you're going through something emotional, you just want to write and write and write. Like we took a break like when we was recording. It was like our producer went away to America for, what was it, 2 months, 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah, for 3 months, and we during that period we had like one week where we wrote like 4 songs in there. So like when he come back, we recorded all those and waxed all those on the album. You just have like a little spur of like, oh, I want to write and write and write, and then sometimes you can go like months without having anything, and you sit down like you're so frustrated, and then when you sit down, you want to write a song and you can't, because nothing's coming. And then you definitely have to be in the mood, like something has to be going on. Yeah, no, we actually wrote both. Recently we write a lot more songs on piano. Ed's been busting about mostly on piano.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose back in the days when old EP and stuff, it was generally written on guitar and it's not pieces.
Yeah.
Now we're getting a lot more experimental, I feel, with the music arrangements.
Then when we decided to bring violinists in, we decided we actually need parts from them, otherwise they should be playing whatever they feel like playing. It might go wrong.
We scored them out and just sit down.
That was before we had Holly.
Yeah, we didn't want violin to kind of seem like more a gimmick, rather than be a really strong part of the music. So
definitely has become that. Like people are comparing us nowadays like being a Gaelic band, which is completely happened by accident. Like I was like, really? Like when I was reading all these reviews that coming back, like Gaelic Stadium Rock Band, Van Susan. I was like, what? So I started listening to some Gaelic Stadium Rock bands. I was like, actually,
I think as soon as you put sort of violin or any kind of strings in that sort of fiddling sort of thing, then immediately.
No, but
it's true.
It's similar with the songwriting, like ballads and stuff. We do like sound like that kind of Scottish feel, definitely. I'd say if you actually go and listen to it.
Never listened to that kind of music until someone said that we sounded like.
And now I've become like obsessed with like Frightened Rabbit after finding that. Yeah, anyway. But it is definitely, it happened by accident, didn't it? You know what I mean?
The days roll together, I can't.
Interesting, really. I suppose you kind of always do. You always have that in your mind, because that's like, it's like more tangible, isn't it? You can't really picture people listening to your music at home, but you can picture you playing it to people. So I always like, for example, the song Get Out, Get Out, when I wrote that, I always imagined us, like as it starts off on acoustic, like I'm just me singing, and then like slowly all the instruments come into place. And I always thought when I was writing it, it'd be really cool if like I start off on stage, and this is the first song we're doing a set, and Ollie would walk on stage, like followed by me, and start playing the piano when his piano comes in, and then like when the bass kicks in, Ed will walk on, and then so yeah, I did kind of imagine that, but I'd say generally not. Generally, as like a rule, like the most of the songs that we write, we just write for the music. I'd say.
Rob wrote "Don't Get Me Wrong" in a dream. I had a dream of the band performing it in a stadium. Was it in a stadium?
Yeah, it was like Wembley or something.
Yeah, thousands of people just had a dream of this big section of the song, and then he woke up and called Ollie. Like, I have an idea.
This was like, I was like 14 or something, wasn't it? Yeah. And then yeah, we cracked all that out. Yeah, that's definitely our oldest song. Don't get me wrong, it's the last one on the album actually. I didn't actually know that you dreamed that. That's really cool.
And this is taken out of me.
It's kind of opened up a lot of innovation though. Like with, was it the Gorillaz that recorded a whole album on iPad or something? That's mental. And yeah, just things like that. And Foo Fighters did everything on tape just to take it back.
Sake of it, yeah.
I think there's a lot of like, you know, great things come out of it. It's so easy to stay and like get involved with your fans and stuff. Like without Facebook, we wouldn't be bands. I think
the interactive side of things is fantastic. You know,
so
you get you know, it's not just word of mouth anymore. It's word of Twitter or Facebook, which essentially is word of mouth, but it's an easier way of spreading the word.
We recently went to France to do a couple of shows, and yeah, like it was just really easy to actually get some like kind of contact, to get some fans over there. You just kind of whack up a couple of Facebook ads like in the local area where you're playing, and a couple of people actually came and like were into us and knew about us already. Not because of Facebook really. So yeah, that's good. It's up things.
I mean, we played that Bed gig a few weeks back or last month, and there was a load of guys from Hong Kong.
Oh yeah.
Just they were coming over anyway, but they'd found us on YouTube and just so happened to Google to see if we were playing whilst they were in London, and they came along and there was about 10 of these guys from Hong Kong. It was just really bizarre experience. Yeah. So it was good.
Rob and Ollie's old band now, that's
That count, I suppose.
yeah,
Where was that?
I think it was a church in Orpington, but it just looked. I remember standing at the front and I was like, "That's my brother up there." And I was just like showing off to people, like, "Yeah, that's my brother."
Mine was actually Steps at the SECC in Glasgow.
Yeah,
the SECC, yeah.
Rock and roll, man.
I know, right?
That was
very
amazing. That was Foo Fighters at Hyde Park. Absolutely incredible gig. Yeah, second favourite gig I've been to. 85,000 people just like, and I was 14 and kind of crapping myself. You know, like there's so many people jumping around me. So it was great. It was awesome.
That's awesome. That was Less Than Jake, the ska band. They're awesome. What was it?
Astoria.
Astoria. Was it yours as well? No way!
We were there together.
Yeah. That was a crazy gig. That was probably one of the best gigs I've been to as well.
It was pretty mental.
I
wouldn't sit here and listen to Listen Jake now.
It was just like first experiences, first crowd surf, first mosh pit, first.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was cool experience.
To be scared, cause everything that you worked for is being.
Well, we got our album coming out in September, which is doing pretty well. We're getting the odd radio play here and there. Trying to plan a tour, which is going cool. We've got loads of gigs obviously coming up in the
Next weekend.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go out before then, is it?
Yeah, so album release launch party is Camden Barfly. That'll be a really good gig.
Yeah, September. Yeah.
Headlining the Clapham Grand again.
Yeah.
For the second time.
Yeah, that's in November.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
I'm actually in the process of building my own studio in my garden, which is going to be a very arduous task. You guys are up for
I'm busy.
that day. Got to like dig up like all the foundations, whacking the concrete. We're doing it all from scratch. It's going to be awesome. So a very expensive job, but it's going to be worth it. We just want like ultimate freedom of writing and recording for our next album, next releases. That's what's going on.
You gotta give it one